Let's focus in on the Cowboys defense on today's Cowboys Report video, namely some potential roster battles here. Now, defense, it's a big overhaul. You lost and you will continue to lose in the next year, several key defensive backs. That's just part of the nature of turnover. You're kind of tweaking your scheme as well. You're going to be more multiple. You're not just going to come out cover 3 every single play and off coverage and get roasted on 3rd and short. But one key note on the coaching staff side of it, new coaches mean there could be some surprises for the Cowboys coach for the defense in terms of who starts and who makes teams. So we're going to run through some of the top roster battles for those starting spots and depth here. We'll begin at defensive end. Demarcus Lawrence, he's going to be one starter there. Who's going to be your other starting pass rusher? Now, the answer probably is a little bit of multiple players, but who's going to take the majority? I think you got 3 top contenders. Tyrone Crawford, Aldon Smith, Randy Gregory. The latter, of course, still suspended. Now, we will discuss Dorance Armstong and these guys more in depth, but if you're looking for our offensive roster battles, that's not out yet. Well, we went with defense first. That's more interesting this year. So if you want the offensive side, you don't want to miss a thing. Turn your notifications on. A lot of you guys don't have it set to all. You have it set to personalized. So tap the bell, change it to all. That way you won't miss a single Cowboys Report video. On to Tyrone Crawford. We'll start with the favorite, the returning kind of sort of starter when he was banged up. He missed most of last year with injury, but he's versatile, can play inside or out. He is a good leader, and he does the dirty work very well. He's not a stat stuffer, but he helps free up other players to get stats and get production and all of that. Now, the Cowboys, if they wanted, could save $8 million by cutting him. They haven't shown much interest in actually doing so. To me, that indicates that they want to find a way to make Tyrone Crawford at least a key contributor. Now, a year ago, 2018, Randy Gregory was a key part of your defensive line rotation. He was mostly a pass rushing specialist, but he had 6 sacks. He played pretty damn well. The issue is that, well, he's still suspended, not as of this point, officially reinstated by the NFL. Could change soon. One player, though, who is reinstated now and maybe has a bit of a leg up over Gregory in that battle to help out is Aldon Smith. Conditionally reinstated by the NFL. As a reminder, hasn't played since 2015. So I don't really know what to expect from him. The Cowboys are optimistic, and that's certainly fair. But I also don't anticipate getting prime Aldon Smith back. I don't think that's a realistic or even fair expectation. So the first question here is who starts at defensive end? C for Tyrone Crawford, S for Aldon Smith, or G for Randy Gregory. Now, if they all make the team, they'll all play, of course. But predict who starts, who gets the most if you need added clarity there. I will make this the pinned comment of today's video. So scroll on down if you get the ad break on YouTube and make your best guess. C for Crawford, S for Smith, or G for Gregory. Let's go to the most interesting battle, at least in my eyes, when it comes to the defense. Who's going to start at cornerback? Because you got 5 guys that have been drafted or paid like they could end up being options, or at least have started before. Chidobe Awuzie, Jourdan Lewis, Anthony Brown, Trevon Diggs, Daryl Worley. Now, none of those guys, at least right now, looking at you, Diggs, are number 1 corners. They're just not. It's not someone you're going to trust going up against Michael Thomas or Odell Beckham or a Mike Evans or even a Chris Goodwin like that. You don't trust them there. But you have options here. And you're going to pick, I'm going to call it 3. It's 2 outside guys and nickel. You're a nickel 60% of the time. Welcome to life in the NFL. That is the defensive scheme that you end up playing. You're probably not going to start Robinson yet or Canada. We'll talk more about the depth guys later on. Hint, hint. So pick 3 of the 5 here, guys. Who starts at corner? Is it Awuzie, Lewis, Diggs, Brown, and or Daryl Worley? I'm going to cross off Worley first, but that's no guarantee. We'll break them all down here beginning. Trevon Diggs, the rookie, the 2nd-round pick. The new regime likes him. They invested in him more than almost any other corner on this team, at least with this current Mike McCarthy staff. They invested. They like him. Now, Diggs is not guaranteed a starting spot, and maybe doesn't start week 1. But as a betting man, by the time he gets to week 16, 17, end of the year, I bet Diggs ends up starting, but there is a learning curve, so early on, maybe it's not Diggs. After the draft ended, the Cowboys went out and added Darryl Worley. I was a bit surprised with that, but they paid him enough that makes me think he's going to be on the roster, and he's going to make the team. Now, maybe he's the number 4 corner, maybe he's the number 2, because outside-wise, that's his role. Awuzie is an outside guy. Jourdan Lewis, Anthony Brown, they can play outside, but I wonder, as we'll get into in a second, if they're going to compete for the nickel role. Now, my point in the past has been that in reality, guys, Awuzie, Lewis, and Brown, they got different strengths and weaknesses. You know, Lewis gives up more plays, but he makes a lot more, so you feel better about it. They aren't all that different. I think Awuzie might start at one of the outside spots, and I'm starting to suspect more and more, and we'll see what camp looks like. But there's going to be a battle at the nickel corner spot between Jourdan Lewis and Anthony Brown. They fit the nickel prototype. They're smaller than the bigger guys the Cowboys have brought on. So who is the Cowboys' nickel starter? Type JL for Jourdan Lewis, AB for Anthony Brown. You guys cast your votes. You're not going to like my answer. Kind of think it's going to be Anthony Brown. After all, he's the one they paid. They could have let him walk. They did not do that. Briefly here on linebackers, this is beginning the depth portion of today's discussion. You got 7 linebackers. You're not going to carry 7. And I am very intrigued by Francis Brown. He's an older player, but he was a pretty good player at Utah. The age helped him go undrafted, plus some early career off-the-field issues at BYU that led to a transfer to Utah. Maybe he's this year's Luke Gifford, the UDFA linebacker we all like, and ends up making the roster mainly because of his special teams. With a new coaching staff in place, I think there are going to be some surprises. It's not going to be like a lot of years where Garrett's going to keep his guys on the team. So who will be this year's surprise players who end up making the Cowboys roster? Shoot your shot right now in the comments section. Let me know what you guys think. Now, this is not a surprise, but players like Zeke and Jalen, they're all going to be on the team. So if you want a new Cowboys jersey, now is the time. 25% off at chatsports.com/Cowboys jersey. We'll put the link in the comments and the description for you guys. Whole bunch of colors, the styles, different players as well. All available on sale, 25% off for a limited time. So go check that out today. One more time for you guys. It's chatsports.com/Cowboys jersey. Now, I'm sure many of you didn't like me not including Dorance Armstrong in the starting defensive end spot, or at least discussion. I think he's closer to having to fight for a roster spot than he is starting. And I hope I'm wrong, of course. He hasn't turned 23 yet, but he's got to show up. He hasn't really made an impact in his first 2 years in the NFL. He just hasn't done it much. With the new staff in, with them drafting Bradlee Anae, with them adding Gregory back and adding Aldon Smith, and at least for now, keeping Tyrone Crawford, that means that there's nothing guaranteed. The only lock on the defensive end spot, I think, is Demarcus Lawrence. I don't think Crawford's there. Dorance Armstrong's not either. If he impresses, great. Awesome. That helps out the Cowboys in a big way. He has to earn a roster spot, I believe, before he's earning a starting spot. Now, Bradlee Anae, let's go to the rookie here out of Utah. Love the production. Pretty darn good at it. 7+ sacks each of his seasons. A lot of tackles for loss. More polished. Many of you have asked me if he's going to start. I don't think so. He has to, much like Dorance Armstrong, all of these guys we're going to discuss, they have to earn their roster spot before they're able to earn even a role on the team on game day. Let's go to 7th round pick last year. Jalen Jelks spent the year on IR. I think he is on the outside looking in. The Cowboys IR stashed him, but he wasn't going to make the team. He had lost the battle, if you will, to Joe Jackson. Now, Jackson brings you some nice position flex. He's big enough to play some on the inside, but he wasn't active very much on game days. Now, in the end, the Cowboys picked him over Taco Charlton. Isn't saying much, though. And with the way the numbers work out at defensive end, if you're keeping Gregory and Aldon Smith and Lawrence and Crawford, you got to pick 2 to cut, at least. So is it Dorance Armstrong, Bradlee Anae, Jalen Jelks, or Joe Jackson? Let me know in the comments. I'm going to pick the 2 J's to cut, Jelks and Jackson. Now on to the cornerback depth battle. We're coming full circle here, guys. Get it? 4th round pick, Reggie Robinson. The draft capital the Cowboys used on him means he should make the team. No guarantee, but he should be on the Cowboys roster this upcoming season. Now, I'm not convinced he's going to make a major impact in year one. I think there is, of course, still a chance that they look elsewhere. But here's the numbers game you run into if there are no trades or injuries. Awuzie, Brown, Lewis, Diggs, Worley, and Robinson are better than your other guys, and now you're at 6 corners already, and that's without trades, which means Maurice Canady, who you signed and can cut with only $200,000 dead money, that's very little, well, he might be on the outside looking in unless he really impresses, or if the Cowboys trade somebody. And then beyond Canady, you got other options here, other players who were on your team last year. C.J. Goodwin was your #1 leader in special team snaps. He might not make the team, although the Cowboys guaranteed Goodwin more than they did Canady. That makes me think Goodwin's more likely to make the team. It's a question you have to discuss, right? And then you've got everyone's favorite pet cat from last year, Chris Westry. I don't see a path to him making the roster, at least not yet. Maybe he's an IR practice squad stash next year. So the numbers game at corner, it doesn't add up. You got to make decisions. At most, you're able to keep 2 of these guys. Robinson, Canady, Goodwin, and Westry. You guys let me know in the comments section. I'm keeping Robinson because I spent a 4th-round pick on him. And then at that point, I'm down to my corner 7. I'll go special teams only. I'll take C.J. Goodwin, but that's a tough call to make if you're the Dallas Cowboys. Saved one of the top ones for last, Trysten Hill. Not so much a roster battle at one spot, more so a roster battle versus a different position. Because Trysten Hill, look, he was a bust last year. There's no way around it. But there's no money the Cowboys can save if they cut him. Now, they can save some by trading him, but if they cut him, it's same as him sticking on the roster. So now it becomes an awkward game for the Cowboys. You're going to keep Gerald McCoy. You're going to keep Dontari Poe, Neville Gallimore. Assuming Antoine Woods eventually signs his ERFA tender, are you going to carry 5 defensive tackles when, remember, you're going to go deep at defensive end? It's a tricky numbers game. Now, Hill's young. There's still promise. I don't want to cut him, but maybe I can trade him. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you believe that Trysten Hill will end up making the Cowboys roster? Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. Hey Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.